It's the E-Commerce Minute, your daily dose of e-commerce, tech, and retail news, with your hosts Bart Mraz and John Suter. The E-Commerce Minute is a production of Sumo Heavy, a digital commerce consulting firm in Brooklyn, New York, and Philadelphia. Find us on the web at sumoheavy.com. Retail transformation is very much underway as traditional retailers close stores and file for bankruptcy at rates not seen since the Great Recession. In fact, over 6,700 stores have shuttered in 2017 alone. Big retail can no longer dominate in today's digital environment without reevaluating their strategy. How can retailers reinvent themselves to be successful in today's market? What do the new rules of retail mean for 2018? Download Sumo Heavy's newest white paper to learn the best practices and principles. The free white paper can be downloaded at newrulesofretail.info. That's newrulesofretail.info. It's E-Commerce Minute for January 29th, 2018.
In today's episode, your Amazon order might lock you out of trusted traveler programs.
If you're planning on doing a lot of traveling in the coming year, you might want to double-check your Amazon orders. A story recently published on Lifehacker tells the tale of a PayPal engineer named Harper Reed. Mr. Reed ordered a high-end suitcase from a brand name called Rimowa. The suitcase usually costs several $100s. Reed ordered the suitcase at full price and had the order shipped to his house. He assumed the suitcase was legit, except it wasn't. He never got the suitcase. Amazon refunded his $700, and he went on with his life, purchasing the suitcase elsewhere. Here's the crappy part. In November, Mr. Reed went to renew his Global Entry status, which is a trusted traveler program for pre-approved low-risk travelers offered by U.S. Customs and Border Protection. The paid service saves you a lot of time and aggravation at the airport. But while going through the renewal process, Reed's application was denied. He'd been flagged by the Customs Department for importing counterfeit goods. Yes, that same Rimowa suitcase that you never received was counterfeit. Apparently, even innocently ordering counterfeit goods can get you flagged. You can appeal, but the process takes months. It's not exactly clear exactly what occurred, but according to Lifehacker, Customs probably intercepted the shipment of the counterfeit bag as soon as it arrived. Then Rimowa was sent a seizure notice with the names of the importer and exporter who were breaking the law. Meanwhile, Reed was refunded for the bag and carried on none the wiser. From there, Rimowa likely had an opportunity to take some kind of action, but since going after the exporter is costly, as in the middleman, Amazon, they chose the easier target, Mr. Reed. He got flagged for importing counterfeits and was thus denied global entry. Amazon still has a huge problem with counterfeit and scams on their marketplace, so it's important that you pay attention to the items you're buying, especially if they're being sent from overseas. Remember, sometimes a deal is too good to be true. When in doubt, especially with high-end goods, just buy direct.
Yeah.
Yikes.
That sucks.
Yikes.
Because
the crazy thing is, like, he didn't even know that this was going on. Like, he got banned.
That's the crazy part.
That's frightening. That's absolutely frightening.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, global entry is amazing, so that's cool. But that's frightening when you just didn't know. Like, it's like, oh, because it's for 5 years, and then you renew it, and you're like,
yeah,
okay.
not so much, buddy. You know, and who knows what other kind of list he's been put on because of that. Right. It's, you know, if he's on a customs and border protection list, his name is now, you know, probably floating around in a couple other lists.
Yeah.
We'll flag this guy just because he was on another list.
Yeah, like, what is I don't
understand. And well, I guess I understand. The company was just lazy, and they just, you know, they threw him to the dogs instead of going after Amazon. Amazon is not doing a great job with the counterfeits, but that's just a matter of scale. It's like playing whack-a-mole. They can't stop all these counterfeit goods that are out there.
No, it's rough.
Yeah, so the lesson is just buy direct if you're spending some coin on something big. That's just, again, I'm just flabbergasted by this article. It's frightening.
Mm-hmm.
Can we say the word frightening again? It's frightening. It's frightening, I tell you.
It's something.
All right. Well, it sounds like you're speechless. There's not much you comment on this. Just be careful, people. Be careful.
Just when you shop, just check what the vendor looks like.
Check and double check. Yeah.
Usually want to do shop. I believe the Prime stuff, if you do buy, if it's inside of Prime, they do check that more often because you have to.
That's a good point. I think a lot of people,
they have to check in and stuff like that, but I think you just got to be careful with it.
Yeah, you have to be educated. I think a lot of people just aimlessly click because they see a good price. They don't read the description, and they don't really check out the seller because they just assume Amazon. And, you know, I mean, it's happened with eBay for all those years until eBay cracked down. You know, it's like
Yep.
When you would order the PlayStation, it's like, no, you're just getting the box for the PlayStation. The PlayStation's not actually in there; it's just a brick.
Oh man.
Yeah, remember those good old days?
Yeah, there were something.
All right, everyone, be careful out there. That's your e-commerce minute for today. We'll see you on the internet tomorrow. That's it for today's show. If you like the show, do us a favor and subscribe, or leave us a review on iTunes. And don't forget, you can now listen to the e-commerce minute on your Amazon device. Just add e-commerce minute to your flash briefing. And finally, if you have a comment or suggestion, or just want to say hi, find us on social media at Sumo Heavy.
The podcast you just heard was recorded with Anchor. If you want to make your own, download the Android or iOS app completely free from anchor.fm/podcast. That's anchor.fm/podcast.